Greetings, loved ones.
How about that episode?
How we feeling? How we feeling, everybody? Yeah, that one was a lot.
Yeah, you could say that.
I did see a tweet in the official tag of somebody just captioning the episode in all caps of "Mommy and Daddy are fighting," and it was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Good tweet. Oh, it was funny.
So yeah, this episode was a lot. There was a lot going on, and there will continue to be a lot going on. So let's get the Q&A started, everybody.
Wahoo!
Our
NBC Battle Royale brackets. Z1, we already know that. The prize for that came out. We got art commissioned from our cover artist Aries at the Last Bastion of the one time Leo and Zed got to snuggle before everything went horribly bad.
And that art is literally how I am coping with anxiety these days. Like, I just look at it and I am overwhelmed with peace. Yeah.
That's good. I love them. They deserved this.
Yeah, we just retweeted it recently on the official Twitter. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You have to look at it.
You have to look at it.
You must.
It's mandatory.
You must look upon it.
Other updates. We did release a bonus episode for our $5 tier patrons on Patreon this week. Lorelai and Courage Take Gimtarum is available on Patreon. We're pretty proud of it. It was a fun episode.
Yeah. We intended for it to be very Home Alone 2 Lost in New York vibes, Disney adventure movie vibes. And yeah. It was
I feel like we landed that. Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. And it's a good insight into what was going on during what was happening, in the season 1 finale. It was a fun episode to do. It really was. Okay, so we'll start off as we always do with our episode playlist. Our lead track was "Kiss with a Fist" by Florence and the Machine.
Do we have to expand upon that? I mean, come on.
No, we don't have to.
Come on.
A kick in the teeth is good for some. A kiss with a fist is better than none. I mean, that was our combat track for the Captain and Sabine fight. Yeah. And then what?
At the next song.
Yeah, "Stubborn Beast" by Bear's Den. That one was a Leo song. It was specifically a Leo song for the Leo and Lorelai reunion. And the reason I ended up picking it was because of the fact that Leo is, at this point, actively trying to get better and actively trying to fight back against his impulses to self-isolate when shit gets really bad. So that kind of ethos of such a stubborn beast is best away from the flock. You've enough pride for all of us as you wander your island unborn and unloved. You set fire to the bridges that you were carried across. That was what his first impulse was upon looking at Lorelai and having to face down everything he had lost. He wanted to run away, but then he didn't, and comforted her. And then that kind of leads into the repeated chorus. All those letters, well, they're all strewn across your bedroom floor. Such beautiful words, but you just can't remember who they're for. By your window, there's a picture filled with strangers, always looking down on you, always sticking around for you. They were always looking around for you, but never able to find you. Yeah.
Layer Valsine.
Leo wanted to run away from that situation. He wanted to, and then he didn't. And that's it. That's a character growth thing that he is very much still fighting back against, that impulse to isolate when shit gets bad.
Yeah.
And the impulse to run away from the consequences of his decisions. Looking at Lorelai for him was pretty much staring down the fact that Soren had died because of him in the face. For him, it was brutal. Mountain Goats was there for the scene with Fee and Defiance.
The one with the magpies?
Yeah, the one with the magpies. We actually used a magpie for that scene because we wanted to use this song for the episode playlist. Yeah. So sometimes we actually like reverse engineer the episode playlists and the episodes. Because I know that we've done that, and it's been with Mountain Goat songs most of the time that we do that, because we reverse engineered this episode with Magpie by the Mountain Goats, and then we reverse engineered the season 3 premiere with Lion's Tooth by the Mountain Goats.
But we'll get into that later.
We'll get into that when
we get there.
Yeah.
But Magpie is very much a Defiance song.
Yeah.
And it's
And when the cherry's white with blossoms, be ready and be brave, and remember what we had here when there was something left to save. Yeah, Magpie by the Mountain Goats is very much a song that character-wise outlines Defiance as somebody that takes a very deep and visceral joy in ruining people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah, the magpie, I will come at midday and you will go down on all fours.
Yeah. It was, so we reverse engineered that. We wanted Defiance to have like an animal association. Like we wanted to find just for like symbolic reasons and for
you
like
had
thematic
pitched
reasons.
That it would be a corvid.
A corvid. I had thought a crow initially.
Yeah.
Because there was something that I just really saw when I was pitching a lot of character concept things for Defiance about the idea of that study that was done on crows, where it showed that they were intelligent enough to even remember people in masks who had been cruel to them and people in masks that had been kind. And I thought that that was a really good setup with her narrative foil with Fee as well.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of thematic things with masks in Fee's character arc. Yeah. And there is with Defiance as well, because they were narrative foils. and they were narrative foils. But
antagonism.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of do something with that because I thought it worked really cool in the theme and it worked really cool within the structure of the narrative foil that we're building with Fee and Defiance. And I feel like we landed that pretty well. She sucks.
So true. Yeah, that's that.
But Magpie with the Mountain Goats was very much a reverse engineered thing where it was like, okay, we know what she's doing this episode. We need to put Magpie by the Mountain Goats on the playlist. So let's figure out a way to make this work. And there was a moment that got edited out of a later episode where the narrative lens characters get to see where Defiance lives. And we edited out the fact that she does keep a caged magpie on her ship in the captain's quarters. It's I still kind of envisioned that, but we just didn't have, it was just one of those things that like we had to cut out for time's sake. But
unfortunate.
Who I Am Hates Who I've Been by Reliant K. That was a simultaneous Leo and Captain song.
Yeah.
I was kind of imagining that for the scene with Leo and the Captain when oh, by the way, who saw that plot twist coming with the Captain and you? Because I was worried about it. I was worried that we had tipped our hand too much.
Yeah.
I was really worried that we had tipped our hand too much and it wasn't going to be a twist. Who saw it coming?
Yeah. And especially in the beach episode, we were like very worried that we had tipped our hands, that we were like,
because we mentioned a lot, with Yu's backstory and also with like the offhanded line that the Captain had about, go ask you about the sun hat. She's self-conscious about her freckles when the Captain is the only other person on that boat that has been explicitly mentioned to have freckles.
Yeah. The fact that they're both from Pearlport and the entirety of Yu's backstory. We were very worried that we had tipped our hands there.
Yeah, we were extremely worried about it. But
we were trying to toe the line of actually foreshadowing the twist and not making it obvious.
Yeah. And we actually stressed over. We were mincing words with the lines, and we were pausing to be like, "Okay, was that too much? Okay, let's go back and record it again." Oh, and it needs to be cleared up at this point. When Doc was telling that story to Leo, that was not Doc being shitty and misgendering the captain. Doc doesn't know.
Yeah,
nobody knows.
Nobody but Sabine.
And now Leo.
This episode.
Yeah, like the only 3 people in the world that know right now are the captain, Sabine, and Leo. Like, yeah, nobody else knows.
Hate it here. Yeah, we as soon as we had that whole backstory dump, we were worried that when we got to this point, somebody was going to think Doc was being a shitbag about it, and I was like,
no,
clear that one up.
No, she was not being a shitbag about it. She was not intentionally misgendering anybody. She doesn't know. Nobody knows. Yeah.
So that's that cleared up.
But yeah, that simultaneous kind of Leo and Captain sentiment of I talked to absolutely no one, couldn't keep to myself enough, and the things bottled inside have finally begun to create so much pressure that soon I'll blow up. And I heard the reverberating footsteps sinking up to the beating of my heart, and I was positive that unless I got myself together, I would watch me fall apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am. Oh, my voice. Who I Am Here to I've Been is a hell of a fucking song.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of a Leo Captain handshake meme song. Which like that's leading into Leo and the Captain actually developing an honest friendship too, because that was kind of the first moment that they've had something that they can find common ground on. Because they butt heads a lot. We've seen them butt heads a lot. But that idea of them fundamentally being 2 men that really want to do right by their little sisters, like, I feel like kind of forged a friendship in that moment. Yeah.
Also, I apologize to everybody to how rough I sound. I have a cold in pretty much everything.
And then Secrets by One Republic, that was a Sabine song for the Sabine backstory drop.
Yeah. Trying to get to scroll to relevant lyrics.
Yeah.
Got no reason, got no shame, got no family I can blame. Just don't let me disappear. I'm gonna tell you everything. Yeah.
The fact that Fee is the only person that has heard that story. Like, because Sabine made it abundantly clear she didn't even tell the captain about it.
I think Sabine is good.
Yeah. You guys are at 69 subs on YouTube, by the way, said someone in the chat. Nice.
Fucking nice.
And then the finale of the playlist was Skyfall Song by Florence and the Machine. Go.
So I've had this as a Fecule song in my head for like months and months and months. Let's just let's go. Be careful, oh my darling. Oh, be careful what it takes. From what I've seen so far, the good ones always seem to break. And I was screaming at my father and you were screaming at me, and I can feel your anger from way across the sea. And I was kissing strangers. I was causing such a scene. Oh, the heart, it had such unimaginable things. Grab me by my ankles. I've been flying for too long. I couldn't hide from the thunder in a sky full of song. And I want you so badly, but you could be anyone. Yeah, so let's just go over all of that.
Fecule.
It was, I have actually a Patreon playlist like half drafted that's just Fecule, but it's all Florence songs, and that's the lead track on it.
Yeah, I need to do an artist specific playlist for Leo Zed. I just don't know who I'm gonna pick because I can't do the Wonder Years because we've already done Leo, but it's all Wonder Years.
Unfortunate.
I've been considering Leo Zed, but it's all old school Panic at the Disco. But yeah.
It's a thought. But yeah, and that's our episode playlist done.
We got a lot of questions this week.
Yes. Okay, first question. Why did Sabine steal all that stuff from the crew when she dipped?
She was under the impression when she dipped that the captain was a member of the Beacon on the opposite side of the schism from her own. And so she cleared out all of that shit, number one, because she didn't want him to have access to it. And number two, he had a lot of navigational charts. He had a lot of maps. He had a lot of like logistical information that Sabine wanted to have because she assumed in the moment that he was using that information to kill more people that she cared about.
And also she needed resources
to get back to Australia.
To get back to Australia to get anything done. But which, as far as reasons go,
yeah, like as far as reasons go, yeah, like given what she believed, like it was pretty justified. Yeah. But like, yeah, what she believed was a lie. And because the captain had no scope of what was going on, because she had never told him about any with the beacon for the entire 10 years of their marriage, he just thought, oh, my wife decided to fuck off in the middle of the night because she's part of this shadowy, shady Astrarian secret society that Defiance told me about. And oh my God, Defiance was right.
Yeah.
So the captain reacted according to what he believed about the situation, and also according to pirate code, which is something we never got to discuss, but
we did write out pirate code.
we do have a comp duel pirate code, which if the captain were to disregard the code at any point, essentially he would lose all of his legitimacy as Pirate King of the Zephyr Isles. Yeah. That is something he cannot do and keep his current position, which his current position is the only thing protecting the Isles right now. So he was kind of in between a rock and a hard place. And the pirate code states that the punishment for stealing from one's own crew is death or marooning, and he couldn't kill Sabine.
Yeah,
so he marooned her. Yeah.
I hate to give Hines any credit, but she set them up
it was smart.
Well.
It was smart. Yeah, what she did was smart.
Yeah. It was very smart. It was very insightful, and I fucking hate it here.
Which, moving on, was Defiance always planning to sabotage the captain and Sabine's relationship, or was it more of a spur-of-the-moment decision? That's complicated.
That's complicated.
As soon as she realized what their relationship was, I think, she was working to undo it.
Yeah.
Because Defiance has known Sabine for a very long time and knows what a threat to her own goals that Sabine is. And then Defiance has known the captain for a much shorter time. But as we've said in previous Q&As, the captain became Pirate King of the Zephyr Isles very shortly after he and Sabine got married. Yeah. It was very, very shortly after that whole event happened.
Yeah. So with him gathering power and with Defiance knowing that Sabine can be a hell of a threat when she wants to be, and when she thinks that she's doing the right thing, that was, like she said, that was a power couple that could not be allowed to endure.
Yeah, and
also I think she's just known Sabine long enough that she knows that the best way to keep a secret hidden is to make Sabine too busy and too paranoid dealing with her own shit to uncover it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the beacon coin that the captain had in his chest of was the thing that broke up his and Sabine's relationship. It was a gift from Defiance. I think when he joined,
which we said in the
episode. So when he joined the pirate court, I think when Defiance made the choice to give him that coin was when she started planning things. Okay, I know a way to make Sabine freak the fuck out and dip. And then she gave him the coin. And then Sabine didn't find it for several more years because the captain didn't think anything about it and just chucked it in the dresser. Yeah. And then a day came where Sabine found it and went, oh my God, and dipped.
Yeah.
So Defiance has been kind of playing a long con on that, or had been rather. It's all been resolved now.
I think it was several years.
It was a long
building
con.
Little things up.
Yeah, it was a long con, and I think she was doing things kind of peripherally because at that point Sabine still trusted her.
Yeah,
because Sabine had not gone back to Astraria and realized all the shit that she had pulled yet. So at that point, she and Sabine were still friends. Yeah. Sabine still really trusted her and trusted her input on things, and I think the captain trusted her. Because he didn't know any better. I mean,
yeah. I think Sabine especially implicitly trusted her and more or less viewed her as part of the family.
Sabine's views on family play a lot into how she navigates the world and how she navigates who she trusts. So
And Sabine and Defiance used her trauma against her.
Yep.
I don't like Defiance. I don't think I've been subtle, but I don't like Defiance.
Yeah.
I find her unpleasant.
And I mean, to a degree,
she's a hell of a narrative foil for Fate, but I find her unpleasant.
And I mean, she used the captains against him too. Like it was the trauma that she created, but I mean, and again, it was a long con. You know, it's kind of a intricate web of lies that we're looking at here. It was, you know, like she knew how to get. I think her biggest motivation was get Sabine out of the picture. Because she felt like she could handle it, because she felt like she could manipulate the captain as long as Sabine was not around to mitigate that. And she was right. And she was right. So, you know, like, we don't like Defiance. She sucks.
She's very smart.
And she played a long con in a way that really worked out for her in the long run. Because exactly what she wanted to have happen happened. Sabine got paranoid and dipped and was out of the picture, and the captain felt abandoned and betrayed and was looking for somebody that understood and was looking for somebody that would be sympathetic, and Defiance played into that in a way that
somebody in the chat said mandatory girl boss comment. Is it mandatory?
It's not mandatory.
Is it mandatory?
Yeah, so Sabine got paranoid and dipped, and then in response to that, the captain was deeply traumatized because he had lost someone he loved and someone he had been married to for 10 years, thinking that she had just been fucking him over the whole time and was looking for anybody that understood and anybody that would be sympathetic. And Defiance took advantage of that sequence of emotions in a way that is really gross.
Yeah.
Because we established that she and the captain had been involved in at least a physical relationship for several years that ended.
I don't like her.
That ended like 2 weeks before the captain met Fee.
Somebody in the chat said, honestly, it makes much more sense now because I've thought before that Defiance is so obviously bad. Why did people ever trust her? But obviously that's what we see. Yeah, and she doesn't have... Because our narrative lens is Leo and Fee, she doesn't have the opportunity and she doesn't have the reason to pretend to be a better person than she is to them.
But to the captain, she had a very good reason. And
to Sabine, she had a very good reason.
Yeah. And so, you know, she painted herself as a member of the family to Sabine, and she painted herself as someone who was helping the captain save his people.
Yep.
Because she needed them to be able to pull the shit that she's pulling.
Yeah, like we get to see her more honestly in the narrative because Fee and Leo knew too much for her to pull the same grift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She tried with Fee. Like back in Parlay Cove, she tried. With Fee, and then Fee just saw through it. Yeah. You know, you just rolled well enough that you saw through it. Yeah. And then she and again, you know, I think a kind of common undercurrent with a lot of our villains that we get is our villains to their own detriment just underestimate Leo and don't give enough of a shit about him, and that ends up coming back to bite them in the ass because that's what happened with Defiance, is that like she just didn't fucking care about Leo and didn't
and to an extent she thought what Marlin thought and what to an extent Alasha has thought, which is that Fee's more oblivious than she is and is easier to manipulate than she is. So like somebody in the chat said, yeah, like when you meet a friend's friend and you're like, what the fuck, this person sucks, but your friend doesn't see it because they've known them for so long. Yeah.
That's Defiance's whole grift.
Yeah.
That's Defiance's whole grift.
That's the Defiance experience. Oh, goodness. Our next question. Ugh. Can you tell us more about Sabine's adopted family?
To a degree, yes, but also to a degree, no. A little, because it gets really important later. So what I had envisioned for how Sabine grew up, it was very inspired by the Umbrella Academy of like this eccentric older couple that couldn't have children of their own, adopting a bunch of very talented kids and turning them into not superheroes, but in this case, super
Ideal
spies.
spies.
Yeah, ideal spies. There were 10 kids. They were all not necessarily war orphans, but orphans that had been out on the street or at an
I think
orphanage.
the first few were definitely war orphans.
Yeah, like, Sabine and the couple kids that were like a little bit younger than her.
Yeah. There were a lot of war orphans.
There were a lot of war orphans after the Volderon War. So, yeah, like, I feel like Sabine and a couple of the siblings that were closest in age to her were all war orphans.
Well, yeah, I think anybody that's, like, anybody that's older than Fee could have been considered a war orphan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because the war ended, and we'll be dissecting this later. The war ended when Leo was a toddler.
Yeah.
Leo was, like, human equivalent of like 2 or 3 when the war ended.
So it was like either right before or right after Fee was born.
Yeah. So yeah, several of them were war orphans. The rest were just orphans of a general variety that showed either magical talent, rogue-like talent, you know, just raw ability that these Astrarian nobles adopted and shaped into ideal spies, which is not great.
It's not awesome.
Yeah,
but
Sabine paints a very ideal picture of her parents.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't great people.
Yeah, but I think...
But they treated her well, which is what I think, yeah.
Yeah, and I think given how dramatically and traumatically they died, Sabine kind of seeing them through rose-colored glasses is reasonable.
It makes sense. Yeah. And you know, as a kid that, like, you know, her formative memories probably happened on the street.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, she does kind of view them through rose-colored glasses because they were good to her and they treated her well.
Yeah.
And as far as she is concerned, we're good parents. But like, there's underlying.
They gave her a little bit of eldest daughter syndrome.
Oh yeah. We've talked about the Sabine eldest daughter syndrome to MILF pipeline a lot privately.
A friend of ours made a joke about Sabine having MILF energy, and
it's the eldest daughter syndrome to MILF pipeline. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of the things that we can tell you about Sabine's family are not great. I mean, yeah, her parents were good to her, and then they died. And they also had some suspect motivations.
And some things are things that are gonna come out later. Like, we can mention the half gnomish lady from her bard troop.
Well, we never mentioned she was half gnomish. We just mentioned that she was very small.
That she was small. Yeah.
That's her sister. Yeah.
That is one of her sisters that she has kept in contact with. That's like one of her few siblings that made it out alive and that she has kept.
Yeah, like in early season 1, when Sabine got kidnapped that first time and Fee went to the troop and was talking to like that, I described her as a very, very small elven lady. Yep. She's very small because she's half gnomish and she's Sabine's sister.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of them died.
But probably a couple other members of Sabine's bard troop are her adopted siblings also. Like, I think that's just kind of become the way that she keeps track of them.
She just hauls them around with them.
Yeah. Sabine voice, none of you can get killed if you're within 3 feet of me. Yeah. Checkmate.
Honestly, I think anybody from that family, with the exception of a couple things that we can't talk about, anybody else from that family that is not dead is probably in Sabine's bard troop. Yeah. To
the greatest extent that Sabine was able to get them there. Yeah. And that's a trauma response, baby.
something fantasy Osmonds. Anyway. No,
I hate your guts.
I'm just thinking family. We had the Partridge Family. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, yeah, the Partridge Family is what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
I hate it
here. Sabine, after going through a very traumatic separation from her husband, washed back up on the shores of Astraria and went, "All right, we're getting the band back together."
Sabine picking up all of her younger siblings, slightly manic, still smelling of seawater. Can you play an instrument? Did you learn while I was away? I'm at a tambourine.
We're getting the band back together.
Yeah. Oh, I do love Sabine so much. I love Sabine so much.
So, yeah, I mean, that's as much of a lore dump on Sabine's family as we can give you without spoiling things that are coming later. Yeah. It will be relevant. Again, we tell you, if you want to crack the whole podcast, season 1, 9.
Any Sabine line in season 1, episode 9. Most of season 1, episode 9 is very podcast crackable, but any Sabine line in the entire episode.
Do you have a perfume picked out for Defiance, like for scents, for patron letters? And if so, what is it? Okay, so this is something that we need to clarify. If you join our $5 tier Patreon,
yes, you get handwritten letters because Barry is trained in calligraphy. Hey, you get a handwritten letter from any
wax
character.
Sealed.
Yeah, that is also wax sealed from any character of your choice, and they all get a spritz of perfume, so they smell like the character. So that's the background on that.
I need to go out and buy the scent for Defiance, but I know what I want to get. Because we did get a couple requests for Defiance letters this month. The scent is going to be Karma by Lush Cosmetics. But
and that's what? Orange and patchouli?
Orange, bergamot, and patchouli.
Yeah.
It smells very like woody and
citrusy.
Yeah. But yeah, we have like a couple things. We have a couple scents that we have like set up for characters. Like Zed is Cedarwood and Geranium by Goodfellow, and Leo is Dirty by Lush Cosmetics, and Kalessa is Queen Bee by Good Chemistry. Like we have a couple scents that we have set up.
It's character defining.
Yeah. Which is a fun thing that you can have access to if you subscribe to the Patreon. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I need to go as soon as I get money. I need to go to Lush and get the perfume. But Defiance's scent is going to be Karma by Lush Cosmetics.
How old is Lorelai at this point in the podcast? Okay. The season 1 finale was about a little less than a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
Lorelai was 73 as of the season 1 finale.
Yeah,
and as of our bonus episode, Lorelai encouraged taking term. So the equivalent of 14 because elf years are 5 to 1. So Lorelai will not. I don't think Lorelai will be turning 15
for another 2 years.
Yeah, until after the podcast ends. Well, for another year after where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lorelai will be 14 for the duration of the podcast. For the duration of the campaign, Lorelai is 14.
I gotta say, Elisha smells milfy. I have bad news for you. Elisha and Fee are the same perfume. We use the same perfume for Elisha and Fee.
Something like mother like daughter. Oh, goodness. The person in the chat that said Elisha smells milfy has responded enthusiastically that Fee also smells milfy. Preparing for Fee's MILF arc.
No.
I feel insane.
But yeah, Lorelai is 73 as of the season 1 finale, so
and
probably
so
74 now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she would be 74 by now.
Yeah.
So,
but still 14 in elf years. Yeah.
She's not going to turn 15 until after the series has ended. So,
do Astrarian elves have more, less, or the same amount of bones as humans?
I'm going to say more, and I'm not going to elaborate on it.
Yeah. More.
Not going to elaborate on that. And. Oh, goodness.
How old was Marlin by the end of the Volderon War?
We said he was 307. So
In canon. So,
yeah.
Leo's 130.
Yeah, I'm doing math.
We did the math earlier because we got this question earlier.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so he would have been 176 when Leo was born.
Yeah.
So the elf equivalent, like if we're doing math, equivalent 35 years old when Leo was born. And the war ended when Leo was a toddler. So he would be like 185, give or take a couple years when the war ended. So like the equivalent of 36 or 37.
Yeah, not late 30s.
Late 30s, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we said 61 going on 62 now.
Yeah, like early 60s, like
Yeah.
early 60s, yeah. Do you have a face claim for Adana of Alcine, Leo's mom? We do. It is Mandy Moore, but we realize that Mandy Moore has been in a lot of shit for a very long time with a multitude of different looks.
Yeah.
We're shooting for her This Is Us era.
Yeah, in the flashbacks.
Yeah, in the flashbacks, just because, she died.
Well, I'm saying Mandy Moore in the flashbacks in this.
Oh, yeah, so like young Rebecca Pearson. Yeah.
Except blonde.
But, well, not blonde, because, so the coloration is all wrong.
Yeah.
Because Adana had slate gray hair, much like Sabine's, and she had
lighter.
Yeah. And she had silver eyes, which are not a color that human eyes can be. So like
the blue undertone
and the blue, so like the coloration is going to be wrong. But as far as like facial structure, hairstyle, shit like that goes, like young Rebecca Pearson in This Is Us, Mandy Moore is kind of what we've been shooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, Donna.
So true.
I miss her.
You miss her? We haven't even gotten to play her yet.
I know, but
because we're gonna play her in
metaphysically, I miss her, and she deserved better.
Yeah, like we're gonna get to play her in the Battle of Omegroth episodes, but we haven't even played her yet.
I'm allowed to miss her anyway. Leave me alone.
She was good. She was great. She deserved better.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Queen. Okay, we have two more. I feel like these are going to be quick questions, and then we'll open it up for open question time. Yeah, please just dump open questions in the chat.
Yeah.
Anything. What are the captain's favorite foods? I feel like the captain likes spicy food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Most spicy foods. I
feel like he also has a sweet tooth, though.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those people that like would be really into like a bowl of fruit that is just dusted in chili powder.
Yeah. And honestly, he's right.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. I do feel like the captain would be the dumb motherfucker to just take a bite out of a Carolina Reaper unprompted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to dare him to, and he'll do it.
And he'll do it.
I don't think he would enjoy it though. And if that's tying into the question of what are his favorite foods,
I think he would pretend it was fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's delicious.
Oh no. Yeah.
But I think he's really into spicy food. I think he's really into I think the captain would go ham on a spicy tuna roll, honestly. Like, I mean, sushi, like, raw fish is probably pretty big in the Zephyr Isles just because of where they are. Yeah. Or cured fish, or like Sabine mentioned that fish and chips was a fish market. Like,
I feel like he's big on sesame also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sesame anything. Sesame.
Anyway, but I think he also does have a pretty big sweet tooth, so he's probably pretty into candy, probably pretty into Baked goods.
Candied sesame seeds.
Candied sesame seeds are good. Yep.
In the little bars.
I think he likes pastry too. Like
yeah. That's good.
Like a good pastry. Yeah. What are Pelicans' favorite stims?
So cute.
I feel like a lot of his stims, like, not because of the bird, but I feel like the bird is more tied to his like personality and his own self-expression. I feel like a lot of his stims are very bird-like. I feel like he ruffles himself a lot, like he's ruffling it. Yeah,
yeah. Well, and that's tied into kind of just how I've described, or how we've both really described Pelican's body language. He tilts his head a lot, and just small chirpy noises when he is startled and stuff like that. Like, we've described Pelican as he's a very bird-like person. He does this on purpose. But yeah, the ruffling, I feel, is a big thing.
Would the captain eat those hard candies that are spicy cinnamon? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because we got asked for like everybody's favorite candy a while ago, and we said that the captain's favorite would be cinnamon ribbon candy. So yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Pelican also snaps a lot and kind of like rocks on the balls of his feet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of vestibular stuff, I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's not like he really could do a lot of vocal stems other than the noises that we get from him, because
but those aren't really like repetitive enough to I think
count as stimming. Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of vestibular stuff, a lot of, I think, like small motions, like this is just one that I do, but also I think it works. Just
or like the finger counting thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So true. Somebody asked, this was probably asked before, but what are Fee and Leo's face claims?
We don't really have them.
Yeah.
Because they're so specific in how we envision them in our heads that we can't.
Yeah, I think the closest we've gotten is, I think the closest I've gotten is Hari Neff as a Fee face claim. And there was like one specific Instagram model that was like the closest you could get to a Leo face. And I can't remember his name.
Castle MacArthur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, there was another one that we found.
Oh shit.
Yes, yeah. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, here, let me pull up Instagram.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hard to really like pin down face claims for the two of them, just because like they have such specific looks in our heads. Like, it's easier for characters that have less screen time, like Defiance, like Adana. Like Sabine and the Captain don't really have firm face claims. Zed doesn't really have a firm face claim. It's just like the central characters are so specific in our heads that it's kind of difficult. And further complicated by the fact that we want to, if we're talking about like specific face claims, we want to obviously reference trans actors for trans characters or trans models for trans characters. And you may have noticed the entertainment industry is not
conducive
populated by
is not
hugely populated by trans people. Wild how that happened. Oh, I swear to God, I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find this Instagram model's fucking name.
Yeah, give us more questions while we're looking.
Yeah, because oh, this is gonna bug me. There was one specific dude that we found a couple months ago, and we were like, "That's as close as we're gonna get."
Oh no, for Leo, I got him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to find a good picture.
Yes. Name of the person.
It's Lysander. LYS_ANDER.
Yeah.
On Instagram. I'm just trying to find a good reference picture to like hold up in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, that's it. It's right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is as close as we're gonna get to Leo.
Yeah.
As far as face claims go.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, Hari Neff was pitched as a Fee face claim by a friend of ours, and that's kind of as close as I think we're gonna get. Same person in chat said, I just usually do better when I want to draw characters if I have a face claim to look at. Tag us.
Oh.
Tag us.
Oh.
Tag us in the art. tags in the art. But yeah, that's as close as we're gonna get. You could also reference like the official art that we had done a while ago. Kind of has their facial structure. As close as we're gonna get. So.
Yeah, like the official art that was done by Lucy Liu.
Yes.
Yeah. So like the character sheets. Yeah, it's way back. Yeah. I'll go back and retweet it after we're done.
Retweet it on the official account.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while. But we did have reference sheets made. But yeah.
Well, and Aries has done a really good job with their facial structure, especially in the most recent, like the Leo's ed art. Like like the way they did Leo's facial structure in that is like perfect.
I think about yeah, somebody said I think I reference Aries' art of them more than the ref sheets. Yeah, which is fair.
And maybe you should. I mean,
and maybe you should. Like the cover art is the reference sheets were made specifically to be referenced, but Aries' art captures the feel that we wanted.
Yeah, because that's what Aries is best at.
Yes. Yeah. And also the Thief's facial structure in the cover art for season 1 is exactly what I pictured. But yeah. But official art that we've had done is a good reference, and the closest we can get for Fee and Leo is Hari Neff and LYS_Ander on Instagram. So. But yeah. Oh yeah. Open question time though for the next 15 minutes.
But yeah, like we have an easier time just like slapping face claims on like on more side characters like when we are like, oh, Defiance is Natalie Dormer, like done. Yeah,
I think the person with the biggest part that we gave like an official face claim to was Alasha, and that's just because we conceptualized her looking like Sandra Oh from the beginning
because of
like,
MILF reasons.
Yeah, that was the vibe that we were going for.
It was for MILF reasons.
That into the character.
Yeah.
Baked that into the character. Hello. Hey, how are you? Just. Somebody said, I have a Fee question for last episode. She had a lot going on, but I was waiting for her to ask about her friends since they were last with Sabine. Is there any specific reason she didn't? She did, and it got cut for time.
She did, and it got cut because the episode was really long.
She did, and it got cut for time because the episode was going so long.
And we're gonna figure,
and we're gonna get a recap on that at the end of the season, and like it's information that we're definitely going to cover. But it was a 10-minute scene, and it got cut for time. Especially because Sabine doesn't have a lot of concrete information because they left Volder very quickly after everything happened. Like she and Lorelai fled, I would say,
as soon as they heard that the Navy was coming. Probably they got the fuck out.
It was probably within a couple of months of everything happening. It's been a while since then. Sabine does not have concrete information on what anybody in Team Fee is doing now. So, but yeah, the explanation for that one is very Doyleist. It was a 10-minute scene, and the episode was already really long,
and we didn't have time.
So time. We're sorry.
Got cut. Yeah, but like the information is going to be dissected at a later day. Like, don't worry, it's going to get unpacked. But just not right now.
The information that Sabine would have been able to give is going to be handled at a later date, and the information as it is now is going to be handled at a later date. It's just. It was really long.
Do you guys want 2-hour episodes?
But yeah, stuff like that happens in our editing process, especially with it.
Well, something like that happened today where I was like, oh, this thing that we wanted to do is going to have to get unpacked in a later episode. So we're cutting 5 minutes of audio. Like, Also, speaking of things that have happened recently in our recording process, last night we got done recording and I lay down flat on the floor for 15 minutes playing I Don't Like Who I Was Then by the Wonder Years on repeat at max volume on my phone.
Oh God, somebody in the chat said, don't be a coward, give us 5-hour episodes, and then added the joking tag.
You don't want that.
You don't want that, and I don't want a transcript for that.
You don't want it. They don't want to transcript it. Also, we can't talk. Neither of us can talk.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like, there are so many pauses and retakes of lines in our raw audios. Like, you don't want that. Trust me, you want the polished version.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, like, we're going to go long. Like, I don't think we're going to feasibly have a lot more episodes in this campaign that are going to be under an hour 20.
That's not a thing that you should say right now, but okay.
I think there will probably be like one or two, but I think the episodes are getting very long. So I think us topping an hour 20 is something we've resigned ourselves to for the rest of this campaign. And for our next campaign, we're shooting for 2-hour episodes with like a little intermission in the middle, like kind of like what Night Vale does, but longer.
So that you could pause. Like,
so that you can pause, get a drink, take a lap around the living room. But yeah,
so what you were saying is like, everything's going to be pretty much an hour 20 at least going forward.
Yes, that's why I said I wasn't counting on episodes being under an hour.
I thought you said over. Okay. That makes sense.
Somebody said comp to a weather segment.
Yeah, kind
pretty
of.
Much.
Actually, yeah, for campaign 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now the pirate radio.
Well, it won't be pirate radio because it'll be campaign 2. We don't have pirates there, but
that's not what pirate radio is.
Oh. I haven't ever listened to Night Vale, so
pirate radio is not a Night Vale thing. Pirate radio is somebody running. Pirate radio is loosely things like somebody running a radio station out of like a van.
Well, I'm stupid, so I don't know that.
That's not the definition of pirate radio. Nobody come for me, but it things like that. Somebody said, okay, so I'm not the best at figuring out mysteries that I know y'all have said to re-listen to season 1, episode 9 to get answers, but is there any other specific episode that I should try and re-listen real hard to?
Season 1, episode 9 is the big one.
Season 1, episode 9 has a lot of foreshadowing for future mysteries. I'm trying to think if anything else that had really big hints.
Season 2, episode 11.
Yeah. Season 2, episode 11 had a lot of big hints. Those are the big, like the big ones that have big mystery keys in them. But like a lot of stuff is things we have very intentionally foreshadowed in little tiny pieces throughout many episodes.
Just like tiny one-off lines.
You don't have to figure it out before it comes up in podcast. Like that's what.
If you want to make that a big goal for yourself, like good luck, go forth.
Go ahead. But like, you don't have. We're gonna reveal everything that's relevant, and I think that's the appeal of shows that have mysteries is people that are hardcore fan theorists can piece everything together with the red string. And go
because we've been trying to do that. Like we've been trying to lace the red string, through everything.
For those people that try to figure out the mystery and have fun figuring out the mystery and putting the pieces together.
But that's not the conceit of the show. Like you don't have to do that to enjoy it.
We're gonna reveal everything. Same person said, "Nah, it's not a huge goal, but I just want to see if I can like get even a hint at anything." LOL.
Oh, you can get more than a hint.
Season 1, episode 9. Season 2, episode 11.
Yeah. The Atana fan club group chat has a theory doc right now.
Atana fan club, so true.
So true.
So true.
We've seen her in one episode. Okay.
No, I support y'all. I support that.
I know, I support you.
You're right. Oh my goodness. Atana fan club.
Yeah. But and as far as surprises and mystery and plot twists, like we have plenty of those coming. Mm-hmm. But we're trying to do them in a way so as not to. I feel like in a lot of types of media that do those like big heavy plot twists, it kind of like is fuck you.
Yeah, I think especially in like the modern era, it's like a lot of things are, oh, you thought you could figure it out?
Which is not what we're doing.
The Stephen Moffat style of storytelling.
Yeah.
You thought you were as smart as me and you could figure out my plot? Oh. Like, we're not trying to do
that. We're trying to put building blocks in place so that if you want to figure out things ahead of time, you can.
And so that people who put those things together get rewarded for their efforts. But
not get fucked over.
Yeah.
Like nothing, I would say that nothing, given all of the information that we've put into the show so far,
I don't think anything.
There's payoff for everything.
Yeah.
There's payoff for everything. So like if you manage to put it together, there's going to be a payoff for it. Yeah.
But also it's definitely a thing where if you just listen to the plot development and you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Like if you listen back, you will see foreshadowing for it. But we're not going to judge you if you didn't see something coming 60 episodes ago. You know what I mean?
And like from a one-off line, and again, like with season 1, episode 9, like so much of the foreshadowing that we laced in
was jokes,
was so purposefully one-off lines. Like, we're not expecting people to put the whole thing together at this point because it's season 9 of episode 1.
And it's a 63 episode campaign. Probably.
63-ish episode.
63.
63 episode campaign. But
not gonna win.
But where, we did those things and we added those little one-off lines in there to make a payoff for people that wanted to dig into it.
And to make the show re-listenable.
Yeah.
Especially. So. But it's, and also this campaign wasn't, I don't think, heavy on the mystery elements. There are a few things that are
no, it's more of a narratively heavy campaign, especially with the undercurrent of the generational trauma and unpacking all of it is what most of this campaign is. Yeah. But it will all be unpacked, and you guys don't have to feel bad if you don't figure things out before they get revealed in the narrative. Because
we're over expanding on this, but
but 3-minute call.
Yes, 3-minute call and questions. Goodness.
But season 1, episode 9, season 2, episode 11. If you want to crack the podcast, those are the 2 you need to listen to.
Oh, goodness. When we get to the finale, Allie's post screenshots of your theory docs. Add us in them, please.
Please. Well, and also, we haven't announced this on the social medias yet, but the season 2 finale and the season 3 premiere we are doing as YouTube live premieres.
We're gonna keep saying this in future Q&As and on social medias, but we're gonna put them on YouTube live the night before they go out for public release. So patrons will still get early access, but we'll be doing live premieres of the season 2 finale and the season 3 premiere for sure.
And then the campaign
YouTube,
finale
the Thursday night before they come out.
Yeah, and so the way YouTube premieres work are that there will be very much like these live streams where there's going to be a chat, so that everybody that is there for the premiere is going to get to be in the chat reacting to the show live. And
we'll have subtitles, but
and y'all are going to want to be there for that.
Again, we'll keep saying this in the weeks leading up, but it's something that we've decided we can do for finales and premieres for the rest of the show. So.
Would any of the captain's crew like video games? Most of them would.
Yeah. If so, which and who? You likes Night in the Woods.
Yeah, I think you likes horror games. Yeah.
That's the only thing I've got. You likes Night in the Woods and Celeste. Those are the 2. That's all I got.
The captain likes Animal Crossing. He gets his own island. He gets to make it whatever he wants.
Seize the means of production from Tom Nook.
It's so true. Boots does not like video games. He's not into.
No, I don't think Boots has fast reflexes.
Pelican is one that does like heavily modded Skyrim playthroughs.
Oh no!
Like the heavily modded Skyrim playthrough where Thomas the Tank Engine comes out of the sky.
Where the dragons are replaced with Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh no.
And with that, the upcoming episode, Leo lovers, Captain lovers,
Fecal lovers,
fecal lovers, fucking brace yourselves.
Oh, good.
See you guys in a week.
See you guys in
Bye.
a week. Bye.